Hello. Today we're going to talk about Salesforce and multi-factor authentication. Beginning in the months of June and July, Salesforce is going to be enforcing multi-factor authentication. So what does that mean? Let's go back a little bit to the first days of logging into systems and the idea of having a password. In the early days, it was just a simple password, like you could use the word password. However, that became problematic. You see, a password is like a secret shared between you and the machine. You whisper your secret to the machine, like a computer, and then the computer hears and knows that that's the right secret, so it assumes that it's you. This, by its very nature, is problematic because anybody who knows what that secret is can then impersonate you and log into the system and do nefarious, bad, evil things. So we decided, let's make it more complicated. Your password can't be just something simple like password. It would have to contain, maybe some numbers. So maybe your password became password 1. But again, this isn't so great because over time we write code that then figures out what other people's passwords are, and it's very easy to figure out if your password is called password 1. So then we added special characters. We said, well, you'll have to include a special symbol like the dot character or the hashtag or the ampersand, something like that, also in your password. We said it would have to be a minimum length. It would have to be at least 8 characters. So we make this password more and more complex to make it harder for the bad guys to figure out what your password is. So now your password becomes something like, password.1, hopefully making it more difficult. But passwords, by their very nature, are always flawed because they rely on a shared secret, one piece of information. Multi-factor authentication is the idea of having more than one thing that identifies who you are to the system. There's basically 3 factors of authentication. The first is the idea of a password, a shared secret between you and the person or machine that you're trying to communicate with. So they both share something. That's one factor of authentication. Another one is known as something you have. So for example, when I get into my house, I have a key. So the key opens my door and lets me into my house. That's a different factor. Another example of something that I have might be my Costco card. My Costco card, when I go into Costco, I show it and it's like, that's something I have. So it proves that I'm a Costco member. Or maybe it's your blood donor card to prove that you're somebody who can do blood donations. Another something that you have could be one of those ID cards that you walk up to the door and the ID card sort of scans itself into the system and lets you in. So that's an example of something that you have. A third form of authentication is known as something that you are. And then we call this biometrics. And if you think about the sci-fi TV shows where the person holds their eye against the eye scanner, that's an early idea of biometric identification. Of course, you probably use it more frequently doing your face to authenticate you when you log into your phone, or clicking on the little password, the little fingerprint button to let you in your phone. So these are different factors of identifying you. And we call it multi-factor authentication when, in order to log in, you need to do more than one of those things. So you need both something that you know and something that you have, like a key, or something that you know and something that you are, like a fingerprint, or you could use all 3. A card with a fingerprint with a shared secret to let you in. This is the maximum amount of security that you can have at the time being, having all of these things connected together. So if a bad guy finds out what your password is, they still can't log in as you if they don't have your fingerprint, or if they don't have your access card, or whatever it is that's required. So this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up your multi-factor authentication in Salesforce. And I'm doing this primarily for the system admins out there, because in July, around July, this is going to become a mandatory requirement for all Salesforce users. And the last thing I want is everybody in your organization to come to your admins saying, I can't log in, I got to go through this. There could be hundreds of users all within one day. So what I'd like you to do, what I'd like you to promise to do, is to follow these steps, set up your multi-factor authentication right now, and save your admin the headache of waiting to the last minute. Save yourself the headache of getting stuck in a situation where you have a key job you need to get done and you can't get it done because Salesforce won't log you in. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, what you're going to need to get started is a cell phone, and the app on the cell phone we're going to use is the Microsoft Authenticator. Now, for the purpose of this presentation, you can use any authenticator that you want, but for simplicity purposes, we're going to use the Microsoft Authenticator. It's a simple, easy to use authenticator. First, we need to find out if the Microsoft Authenticator is on your phone. So we're going to take a look and you're going to do a search to see if you can find the Authenticator app. So I'm going to get you to scroll up on your phone, do a little search, and start typing the words AUTH. See if you can find the Authenticator. The icon is a blue icon with a circle and a shield, and it looks like a little person is in front of the shield. So if you can find that, that's the Authenticator icon, and you're going to click on it. But what if you don't see the Authenticator icon? Well, then what you might need to do is go look in the Play Store. So you're going to open up the Play Store app. You're going to do a little search. And again, you're going to type the word AUTH. And again, you're going to look for that little symbol that looks like the little blue guy with a little shield. And you're going to see Microsoft Authenticator. And then it's going to say that the app was created by Microsoft. That's how you know that you have the right app. So you're going to open that up and then you're going to click Install. After the app is finished installing, you can then open the Microsoft Authenticator app. When you get to that screen, it's sort of a blue screen. It lets you in. It's going to have the ability to add a different account. So there's going to be a little plus in the corner. And you're going to click that plus and get to the screen that says to scan a QR code. And that's all we really need for this point. We're going to carry on the rest of it by looking at the video of the screen. Okay, so let's look at the steps to add the authenticator to your existing login. So as you can see on the screen here, I'm logged into an instance of Salesforce. And what I'm going to do is click on this little icon here, which we call our little avatar icon. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to pick Settings. Then on the left-hand side, I'm going to see these different options I can choose. I'm going to pick Advanced User Details. I'm going to click on Advanced User Details, and that's going to show me my account information. I'm going to go down to one that says App Registration One-Time Password Authenticator. That's what I want. I want to make a one-time password authenticator. So I'm going to hit Connect. When I hit Connect, a little window may pop up asking me to verify a code that it will send to the email. Now this depends on how your admin has it set up. It might just go directly to the next screen. If not, it will send an email. You have to go check your email account and get that code. I'm just going to do that right now. 852 852-999. Now this is a one-time thing to be able to do that authenticator. This next screen is where you're going to go get your Microsoft Authenticator on your phone. And as I showed you on your screen, so you're going to open that up. Microsoft Authenticator. You're going to look in the top right-hand corner and you're going to see a little plus icon. When you hit that little plus icon, you're going to pick the option Work or School Account. And then it's going to give you an option that says scan a QR code. So you're going to pick that scan a QR code and your camera is going to open up. It might ask if it needs permissions for your camera, say yes. Then your camera, then you're going to hold your camera over the code and a number is going to start generating. So what I see on my phone, it says I'm trying this out with an account called Agent Force. And then I click on that and it shows me a 6-digit number. So I'm going to enter my 6-digit number in. 3, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hit connect. Sometimes it will ask you a second time to confirm that number. So you'll just wait and then enter that number a second time, and then you're logged in. Now, your authenticator is set up. You're good to go. What does this mean? From this point forward, every time that you log in, so let's just try this and log out. And let's put in my username and my password for that. Password now. If you're using single sign-on, you might go right into your environment without even being prompted for a password, but that's okay. So what's going to happen starting sometime in late June, early July, is after you log in, you're going to get an additional prompt saying to verify your authenticator. You're going to go look in your Microsoft Authenticator on your phone, click on your option for your authenticator, get your most recent 6-digit code, because again, this code changes every few minutes. Enter that code, hit verify, and then it will let you log in. So again, you want to do this as early as possible. If you wait to the last minute, you're going to get stuck logging in. It's going to take you through the whole process to set this up. If you're urgently trying to get in, you're going to find it very frustrating, and I don't want you having to run to your admin, because a whole bunch of people running the admin at the same time is going to be very stressful. So please make sure that you set this up now. But that's all there is to it. You register your authentication. When you log in from that point in the future, you put in your password as usual, or if you're using single sign-in, you don't need a password, but you will still get prompted for that second 6-digit number from your Authenticator app. Thank you. Have a great day.